Okay, nice, quick, and easy video today. We're going to look at sending information from one sheet to another sheet in Google Sheets, and if we already have that information in there for that specific set of data, then we're going to update the row instead. It's quite useful for a number of different things. Sometimes we have obviously different information that's shared with different people, or we have different sheets that perform different functions, and we don't want to go around updating the same information in the same sheets all the time. We just want to update it sort of in one master place and have update all different sheets. So first thing we need to do is come to Zapier and create a Zap. Now, if you don't know how Zapier works, there's a video on my channel which is a basic introduction, which will go through triggers and it'll go through actions and sort of the basic dynamics that are involved with those. I'd suggest that you watch that first if you haven't come across this, because I'm gonna use terminology and I'm just gonna go through stuff that I will assume that you know, because you'll know about Zapier already. So right, let's jump straight in. So we're going to create a Zap. The trigger is we're going to be using Google Sheets, as I said, and we're going to want new or updated spreadsheet row. And we're going to click continue just to connect it to our account, obviously, and then just find the spreadsheet where the initial set of information lies. Choose the worksheet where the information lies, and trigger column I'm leaving as any. You can set this to be a specific column, so if something happens in one column and it triggers it, I want this to happen with any column because I want the new information for each column to be copied into the new sheet. Obviously we test a trigger and we should pull through a set of data like that. Cool. We're going to continue, and okay, so we're going to go Google Sheets. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to look up a spreadsheet row. Again, connect your account. Now what I want to do here is choose the row where the information is going to go. So that's this one. This is where we're going to send the information to. The worksheet, again, just the worksheet that you've got. Now we can do it for, what we want to do here is the worksheet, obviously where the information lies, and then we want to look up column. So the sheet where the information is going to, where we want it to go, we need to decide a column in here that we're going to look up and match against the sheet where the information came from. So I'm going to use registration because ideally this wants to be something that is sort of unique, is not going to change, just stays the same, is consistent, and is unique to that specific set of data. Ideally we don't want loads of different sets of data having the same lookup, because it's going to be matching it to multiple different things. Ideally it wants to be unique. If you don't have anything that's unique, you can still do this, but I would just, in your spreadsheet, I would just create a column where you add a couple of things together that might make a unique sort of key. To do that, you could have name, date, and something else that you might have in the spreadsheet, but just by like adding certain columns together that might give you a unique key. But if you don't, like I say, if you don't have something unique, just try and find a way of creating something for that set of data that is unique. Could be as simple as just a number. So you every set of data that goes in there gets a number, and it goes up and up and up, and that would be unique for you. Okay, supporting column. So we can do it so we can have to match two columns for this to work. Again, I'd try and make it unique, but this kind of takes out a little bit of the onus on having something unique, because you could match it to one thing and match it to another. However, if you've got two things that can be matched across two sets of data, you're going to get the same problem. So I would have it unique. You need to notice that this will only trigger if both of these columns match. Right, the supporting lookup value. Sorry, we've just been through that. That's the supporting lookup value for that column. You can choose whether it goes bottom up. Pick the most recent match. So if you're not too bothered about it having to be unique, if you've got a different sort of set of data where you're going to have loads of things that are sort of either from the same customer, or and you just want to find the newest one, you could go bottom up and it could find the newest one. So that is something that you could use. I'm not going to use that for this because it makes no difference to me. Right, should this step be considered a success when nothing is found? We're going to say no, because the next stage we want it to update the sheet. We don't want it to start updating the information anyway if it's not found it. It's going to cause confusion. But we do want to create a Google Sheet spreadsheet row if it doesn't exist yet. Now what this is going to do is it's going to bring through all the information from all these columns. So what you need to do is come through here and match them. So if we go into like vehicle, for example, we can search for all the information that we brought in from the initial trigger, and we can match it into these columns. I'm not going to go through all of these obviously because it will take me ages and I'll be incredibly boring, but you just go through and match everything that you've brought through in this initial spreadsheet into the new spreadsheet row if we can't find one in there that already exists, so it creates a new row for that person. Right, from there what we're going to do is we're going to add in another action, which is again Google Sheets, and it's going to be update spreadsheet row. Let me just test this first, sorry. Sorry, if not, I didn't choose the lookup column. So the lookup column is E. As you can see, that's where the registration is. So, registration. Okay. Continue. Test action. Cool, so it's found it for us, and it's pinged us back which row it's on, which we can now use in this below. So if we go to update spreadsheet row in Google Sheets, again, go through the monotonous task of connecting your account, find the spreadsheet that we used earlier, and this, you can come in here and find the ID and all that sort of stuff, but obviously we can just find it here pretty easily. Worksheet. Now row. So this is where we're going to use the previous steps. So you want to come to custom, and then you want to go to look up spreadsheet row in Google Sheets, click on show all options, scroll down to where it says row, so row 2, like that. Okay, and then we're going to come into here and we're going to again map the information. Again, I'm not going to go through all of this because it's boring, but you just come through and all the information that you pulled through initially from your spreadsheet in this one, we're going to come through and we're going to map to all these columns, so it updates it, and then we can continue and we can test action. And if we come back to here, you can see in column F, it's put the name in for us. So if we'd have mapped all of these, it would also update all of that for us. And if this ever changes, it'll come in here and it'll copy the new information for you. So that's it. What you do, new updated or own spreadsheet, you come through to look up a spreadsheet row, set it to, if you can't find the spreadsheet row based on the criteria that you've given it, obviously it doesn't exist, so we're going to create a new spreadsheet row, which is all this information here. To do that, you just tick this, and if it has found the spreadsheet row, it's going to update that spreadsheet row for us with the new information that you've mapped into here. You can go through, by the way, and you can put all this stuff in, because if it's the same information, it'll just put the same information in, so technically it won't update anything because it's just the same stuff. Any questions, please feel free to post in the comments, and I'll sort of get back to you as soon as I can. If this has helped you out in any slight way, I would appreciate a subscribe and a like. It really helps me grow the channel. And check out my video for some more channels on how to do similar stuff to this, save yourself some time on the admin that none of us like to do. Cheers, goodbye.